been remarkable progression from Braids, 3 albums in, and with this latest record, Deep in the Iris, it's more concise, and it's you can continuously inject new meaning into everything you do. Is this the most pleasing band dynamic that you've had so far?
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's the healthiest band dynamic that we've had, and the most supportive one. And that's something that we set out to do from the get-go of this record. That was just like what the foundation of the record was built upon, is making sure that we were all just like really happy with one another and really comfortable with one another and really able to get deep. I hate saying the word deep because my record's called Deep in the Iris, but getting deep with one another.
And with regards to the record, I mean, there was a return to a more organic instrumentation. How beneficial was that for you?
It was really important. On Flourish Parish, we were really, really into electronic music. We had just started doing late night drives, and electronic music was very important for just setting the tone for that. And we wanted to write a record that sounded like that, and we realized it didn't have too many organic instruments. There was a lot of programming, a lot of synths. We made it such that we were in a dark room with no windows, and just like we put ourselves into a really cold and kind of sterile environment to get the kind of mood that we wanted for Flourish Parish. And we came out of it kind of miserable. I guess we also, though, went through the experience of having to part ways with a band member. And I think that process, it wasn't really right for us. We came out of the record cycle really missing playing instruments and feeling like we weren't really connecting with one another as much. So yeah, we came back to the acoustic instruments.
The level of focus with this record, I mean, you were located in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and you were each able to be comfortable and as vulnerable as you wanted in front of each other. Was that essential for the forming of this record? Yeah,
it took a long time to get to that point, though. For the first 2 weeks, we tried making music, or maybe 3 weeks, and we only had a month and a half there. We tried making music, and we just kept falling flat on our faces. And it took a lot of like going for walks and cooking a lot of meals together and having a lot of talks to get to that point where we could start to be vulnerable and start to share and be non-judgmental or not too critical of what it is that we're doing. There's a really fine balance with making art where like you want to be critical and you want to be judging to a degree, but there comes a point when it can take over. So yeah, it took a long time for us to be able to get to that point where we were really comfortable with each other and ourselves.
And I wanted to get your views on some of the material on the album. Firstly, Letting Go. I mean, tell us about how, as a band, you went about fleshing this song from the ground up, because it's so impressive with the vast layers and the twists and turns, the courses the song takes. I mean, what was it like to bring it all together?
I'm trying to remember writing that one. That was one of the earlier songs that we wrote. We really wanted to write songs that we could play from front to back, because that was something that we hadn't really done before. And that was also the reason why we introduced acoustic instruments, is because we wanted to be able to play our songs from front to back on them. So with that song, we wrote it on the piano, and we actually just tried to songwrite it, do traditional songwriting with it. I'm just trying to remember how it came together. It's so hard to explain like a specific process. I just remember taking a lot of breaks when we needed to, and going for walks, and not forcing it, and not getting angry with ourselves.
Another song that's received so many kind words, Miniskirt. I mean, here's a song you said it was an intense jam for weeks.
Yeah,
and
super intense.
The vocals were required to be powerful because of the instrumentation. I mean, how did that come into play?
Well, we started working on that one in Delhi, New York, and Taylor had been working on the synth for almost a year, the synth tone, just on his own, because he does music on the side as well. And then he showed us a synth, and we were like, wow, this is a huge sounding synth. This is amazing. And we had rented PAs. We brought it down from Canada, a big PA in our van, and we just blasted the synth out of the PA, and it was so loud, and Austin was playing drums, and we were just jamming it so hard. It was the biggest thing that we'd ever jammed. And I remember Taylor, I don't ever see Taylor cry, but I just remember he was standing there and he was just smiling, and he had tears coming out of his eyes because he was just so happy to hear it. I guess like come to life from being something that he was just working on in private for a year.
What's also impressive is the video. I mean, you must have also been so pleased with that coming to fruition. I mean, you're kind of like a Rapunzel outlook, and
I went through like 5 different directors to find. People just kept dropping off because it's a difficult topic to convey.
How pleased were you with the end result? I mean,
so happy. We worked really, really hard on it, Kevin Funk and I, and we did it for very little money, and we did like 3 days straight of shooting, and we just did it all at the last moment because so many people ditched out on me, and then he kind of swooped in like Superman and to help take the reins of the project. So
at the center of the Braids' impressive instrumentation and compositions is your voice. It's a thing of beauty, and with regards to your voice, I mean, did you work on specific techniques with this record to stretch it, to perhaps reimagine, or does it commonly depend on the sounds being formed?
That's a good question. I think it just comes from the sounds being formed. I was listening though to a lot of Alanis Morissette, a lot of Katy Perry, that really kind of strong female vocal. Obviously, always listening to a lot of Bjork. It's a very acrobatic record. It's a very difficult record to sing live. So I found, from here on out, I'm just writing really chill vocal lines. I think I didn't really consciously think about the kind of vocal sound that I wanted. I was just listening to a lot of Alanis Morissette and a lot of Katy Perry.
And you've mentioned, Raph, that you had more intention to reach some kind of a resolve with this record. Where are you at with that?
I think it was like knowing that we could do this as a 3-piece. That was really big, because that was a lot that we went through, is going from a 4-piece to a 3-piece, because it was parting ways with one of the founding members of it, and also there's just a lot of topics that are difficult on the record that I was able to confront and talk about, and I think that was reaching some kind of resolve for me, is like moving past those, and but now there's going to be like a whole other set of resolves to resolve for the next record.
And do you very much share the view that as soon as you abandon expectation, that's when your essence comes out?
Yes. Oh yes. I feel like I need to come back to that, very much so, because I have a lot of expectations right now, and I feel like they sometimes cloud my day or like cloud my experience of things. So I think that even aside from music, that's something that people should think about.
I wanted to ask you about a few of the tweets that you've put up.
Sure, I forget that people actually look at that, but when you read a news article, they'll be like, so-and-so tweeted this airline tweeted about this.
Here's one from yourself.
Stuff,
Okay. Considering our walk on stage music to be the theme song from Jurassic Park.
That was, we were deciding if we were ever to become a big band, what music we would have for walk-on music. I think it's really funny when bands do walk-on music. But a lot of big bands do walk-on music. So that's what it would be.
And here's one from yourself. Is this pretty much like maybe your kind of ethos, make friends with yourself?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does that tie in with, meta meditation? That helps you too. You mentioned that it helps you not only with your friends and your families, but helps you to connect on a grander scale with others around you. So how important is that meta meditation to you?
Very important. Very, very important. I think that everybody should absolutely do it. Doing loving kindness meditation. I just started doing transcendental meditation. Have you heard of that one?
I have not, no.
It's a little culty, but it's good. It's David Lynch. He's super, super behind it, and it's a mantra-based meditation. And I think just taking 15 or 20 minutes for yourself, even if it's not really like any specific form of meditation, but if it's just like you closing your eyes and being silent with yourself, it's just like a little gift that you give to yourself. And when you're nice to yourself, when you feel good yourself, and you're kind to others, and then everybody feels good.
What's pleased you most about your musical endeavors over the course of this album release and the tour that's followed?
These are all very good questions. I think how much we're connecting live on stage is really, really beautiful to see. We're so connected on stage. Like I can sometimes like feel this like, sounds really hippie, but feel kind of this like triangle of energy between us that we're all forming. And having that on a nightly basis, just given how like hard touring can be sometimes, especially at our level, that's really, really impressive to me. It's just like how deep we're still connecting with the songs and with each other, and how kind we're being to one another on stage and supportive.
As Braids head forward, what are the key aspects that you hope to maintain and stay true to?
I think that something that we've talked about a lot in the band is not changing our music based on the kind of success that we want. Is like really just making the music that comes to us most naturally, like whether or not it's hailed, and just like making music that we really, really connect with. And because like, we could go out and write like a really poppy record and do, I don't know, like really sexy press photos, and there's like such a game that you can play, and we've been doing this for so long that like we just see that game, we see that side of things, and that's something that we want to really make sure that we don't do for just for popularity's sake, and just making really, really good music that we connect to. So.